The ingredients needed are 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of unsalted butter, 1 cup of sugar, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of milk, powdered confectioner's sugar, bats and pumpkin cookie cutters, white frosting, and some food coloring. Okay, so to start making your cookies, you first have to measure your all-purpose flour. We need 3 cups. You could buy any brand. I bought Pillsbury, but any type of brand will work. So be careful when pouring in the flour, as it can make a mess. After I have put all 3 cups of flour into the bowl, I will now use my measuring spoons to add 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder into the bowl. Once again, you can buy any brand of baking powder to use for this purpose. So you will measure the 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder and put them in the same bowl of where you have the 3 cups of flour. Now place 1/4 teaspoon of salt into the same bowl where you have your baking soda and your flour. Make sure to mix the bowl up so that all of the powders can combine: the flour, the baking powder, and the salt. In a smaller bowl, you can put 1 cup of unsalted butter. The butter must be softened, so you can do this by moving it around with your spoon, or you can place the bowl under hot water. Just make sure not to get any water inside of the butter. Now you have to measure 1 cup of sugar. Remember, these are sugar cookies, so we want them to be sweet. Now add the sugar to your bowl of butter, and then remember to mix. Your sugar and butter mixture is going to look somewhat like this. Mix 1 tablespoon of milk and 1 egg. Make sure it is mixed well. Add the egg and milk mixture into your bowl of butter and sugar. Make sure to mix well. You want it to all become one mixture. Once you're finished mixing in the sugar, butter, egg, and milk, you will place that into your first bowl that has flour, baking powder, and salt. Make sure to scrape the bowl very well. You want it all to go in there. Once you're done scraping the bowl and getting everything that is in there, you have to mix it all together and make sure that it is not clumpy. Once you have mixed your dough, you're going to place it in some wax paper. Part the dough into 2 halves so it's not overfilled, and then you will pound this into the wax paper, make it as flat as possible, and then this will go in the fridge. But make sure to do that to both parts of it. So since you cut it in half, you have to have 2 separate wax papers filled of dough, and then you will place it in the fridge for 2 hours. After 2 hours, it will be removed from the fridge and cut with the cookie cutter. So once you have your dough out, you could either roll it using a rolling pin or just smash it with your hand like I did once it was in the wax paper. Spread some confectioner's sugar on the cutting board and then put your dough on it. Once you have your cookie cutters, you just put them in the dough and you cut your cookies. Just be careful, since the cookies could break. The dough is very delicate. While you're doing this, your oven should be preheating to 375. So once you are done cutting your cookies, they could just be placed in the oven. Once you have cut all your cookies, place them in cookie sheets that are buttered. and then place them in the oven that was heated to 375. They will be in there for about 7 minutes. Once out of the oven, let them sit and cool down before frosting. Use the food coloring and apply it to the white frosting. If you want orange, you will have to mix yellow and red, and if you want purple frosting, you will mix red and blue. Finally, just frost the cookies however you'd like. I made the pumpkin cookies orange, and the bats, I made them purple. This is what they look like when they're done. Remember to share it with friends and family since they will really enjoy it. Yum!